Chair is joining us live from Addis Ababa, where he will give us the insights into the key developments, the major contenders, and what this election means for the future of the AU. Chair, tell us, what is the latest?
Thank you very much. Back in studio. And indeed, as you have rightly pointed out, the contest that is going to be happening tomorrow pits the Honorable Raila Odinga against that is Richard Randiamandratu. That name is quite a piece from Madagascar, as well as Mohamed Yusuf of Djibouti. Probably before I tell you what will happen tomorrow is that up until now, there's been a session on the security situation in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The heads of state who are already in Ethiopia are attending that very important session and intends to discuss possible solutions for the crisis in DRC. You will remember that about 2 weeks ago, the M23 rebels stormed into Goma town that is in the territory of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and they have been advancing towards a town called Bukavu, and that has caused quite a nightmare in terms of compounding a humanitarian solution. I mean, a humanitarian crisis, as well as dealing with the security nightmare for the people of North Kivu and South Kivu, and that is what is being discussed. You also know that there is what you would call a diplomatic row between the Democratic Republic of Congo and Rwanda, and that also will feature in those conversations. We understand, other than President William Ruto, who is attending that meeting, the fourth president of the Republic, Uhuru Kenyatta, was also attending that very particular meeting. Now, what happens tomorrow is from 10 a.m. We shall have the opening session of this 48th meeting of the heads of state and government, and from there, of course, there will be opening remarks by Musa Faki Mahamat, the outgoing chairperson of the African Union Commission. We shall also have the chairperson of the African Union. Remember, the chairperson of the African Union is different from the chairperson of the African Union Commission. So the chairperson of the African Union is actually the president of Mauritania, who will be actually handing over that position to the president of Angola. That is Lorenzo Lorenzo of Angola. That is the person who will be taking over the reins of the African Union. After that, we're likely to hear a speech from the president of a state of Palestine. Remember, Africa really has been insistent on ending the crisis that continues, or rather that was unfolding in Gaza. And you remember also remarks that have been made by the American president, that is Donald Trump, regarding what is happening in Gaza, and that conversation is also likely to feature. After that, they will retreat to closed sessions, lunch, and then again another closed session, and then in the afternoon closed session is when we're likely to see the election of the next African Union Commission chairperson. Probably by around 5 or 6, we should be having the results of that election. The meeting will also extend up until Sunday again, and the heads of state will also be having a raft of discussions. But very quickly, let me explain how this exercise will be conducted. The three candidates will be subjected to a vote 3 rounds, and in these 3 rounds, it means if the first round the candidate does not, any of the candidate does not get the requisite 33 votes, it means it will be subjected to another round and another. But on the third round, the one of the candidates must be dropped, which means we will remain with 2. That is, if none of them has achieved the 2/3 majority. When we go to the 4th vote, it means then we shall be having 2 candidates, and one of them must be dropped. That is, if none of them achieves the 2/3 vote, one of them must be dropped to take one candidate to the 5th vote. In the 5th vote, if that candidate gets the requisite 2/3 majority, they automatically become the African Union Commission chairperson to be sworn in the month of March. If he doesn't garner the 2/3 majority, and we're talking about 33 votes, it means then that election will be postponed up until the month of July. Remember now, the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi and the Minister for for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, has warned Africa against the possibility of postponing this election because it would portray African leaders as being weak and indecisive. The stakes are high. The negotiations are up. And just as you have seen in that story, President William Ruto has been shuffling between one meeting and another to rally his peers in the African continent to back Kenya's candidate, that is Raila Odinga. And that has also been done by other delegations from the Republic of Kenya who are here to rally people around, or the African heads of state and government around Raila Odinga, the candidate. And we'll be monitoring that beginning tomorrow. The opening session begins at around 10, so we'll be sure to catch up at around that time and then be able to inform you of the outcome of that election later in the evening. But for now, let me return you back to Nairobi. We are live from Addis Ababa, and of course we'll be bringing you this events live beginning tomorrow. Back to you in studio. Oh, and happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's, Kyria, in Addis Ababa. Thank you very, very much for keeping us up to speed with what is happening in Addis Ababa in relation to the AUC elections. We will be sure to tune into KBC Channel 1 tomorrow and Sunday to catch Kyria live so that he can further explain to us what is happening in Addis Ababa.